FGV Holdings reported a second straight quarterly loss on lower CPO prices and impairments of 788 million ringgit. Third quarter net loss stood at 849.3 million ringgit versus earnings of 41.5 million ringgit previously. Revenue came in 23% lower at 3.2 billion ringgit. For the 9 months of FY18, FGV says net loss stood at 871.2 million ringgit, compared with a net profit of 80.5 million ringgit a year earlier. Top line was also lower, shrinking 19% to 10.2 billion ringgit. FGV Chairman and Interim Chief Executive Officer Datuk Wira Azhar Abdul Hamid says the group expects to close FY18 on a negative note. However, he points out there are nascent signs of operational recovery, indicating a more positive future for FGV. Looking ahead, the plantation giant will be announcing 1 or 2 more lawsuits related to its units that are under investigation by the end of the year. It also expects to appoint a new CFO and CEO by the end of January 2019. Walt Disney and 21st Century Fox are said to have rejected claims in Genting, Malaysia's lawsuit accusing them of abandoning a licensing deal tied to the construction of a Fox World theme park. According to Reuters, Disney and Fox say that the claims against them were utterly without merit. To recap, Genting Malaysia is suing the two firms for over $1 billion, saying it had invested 750 million in the project. It was preparing to roll out the theme park in the first half of 2019. The theme park would have been Fox's first. The EPF will be revising the quantum for minimum basic savings from 228,000 ringgit to 240,000 ringgit. This means effective January 1st, 2019, this is the minimum target EPF basic savings members should have upon reaching age 55. Basic savings refers to the amount that is considered sufficient to support one's basic needs for 20 years upon retirement, that is from age 55 to 75, in line with the Malaysian life expectancy. That's 12,000 ringgit a year or 1,000 ringgit a month. The new quantum is benchmarked against the minimum monthly pension for public sector employees, which has been raised from 950 ringgit to 1,000 ringgit. With the new basic savings in place, members will now accordingly be required to have higher savings in their EPF accounts to be eligible to participate in the EPF Members Investment Scheme. The scheme provides members with an option to have a portion of their EPF savings in Account 1 invested in unit trust funds or via private mandates managed by the appointed fund managers institutions. It was a solid first quarter FY19 for the Hong Leong Group of companies. Hong Leong Financial Group saw its net profit for the quarter grow just over 11% to 505.7 million ringgit. This was due to all its divisions doing better. Revenue for HLFG grew 8.2% to 1.4 billion ringgit. Meanwhile, Hong Leong Bank saw its net profit improve by 10.6% to 706.9 million ringgit due to robust growth in non-interest income. Revenue grew 6% to 1.25 billion ringgit from 1.18 billion previously. HLB also declared a first interim single-tier dividend of 13 cents per share. Group MD and CEO Dominic Fuda says that the key to the bank's growth will be its digital innovation in its products and services. As for Hong Leong Capital, it saw its net profit improve by nearly 20% to 24 million ringgit from 20 million previously. This was the result of higher non-interest income. Revenue grew 14.6% to 82.6 million ringgit. Burmas Auto has scrapped its plans to list its unit Burmas Auto Philippines on the main board of the Philippine Stock Exchange. According to a board's filing, the Mazda distributor said the decision was made after considering the current challenging conditions in the Philippines. Burmas had announced its plans to float the unit 2 years ago in a bid to unlock shareholders' value in its Philippine operations. In its latest quarterly earnings, Burmas had registered lower profit contribution from the Philippines as sales dropped and the peso weakened. Vermas explained that a new tax reform implemented by the Philippine government resulted in an increase in excise taxes, which increased car prices and affected demand.